David Swartz. Heat race number 3, Carl Chevrolet of Stuart, IMCA Northern Sport Mod Heat 3. The Old Machine, Brian Morse out of St. Charles on the pole. The 8 of Austin Kemp out of Benton. Row number 2, be the 30 of Kinzer Ellis out of Ankeny. Too Cool for School, Cave Creek, Arizona. Taylor Cool on the 2K. The outside will be the 93, Hunter Longnecker. Gage Hilgenberg out of Waukee. And Caleb Woodard out of Bennington, Nebraska in the 131. Joe Reitz out of Dunlap in the 1 junior. 8 laps, top 4, where you want to be. Here we go. Songer says green light, green flag. Here we go. Firing off down into turns 1 and 2. The Old Machine getting out on top. It is Morris. Morris getting out on top. Austin Kemp in that black and white number 8. Running second. Taylor Cool runs third. Out on the point, showing the way. It is the Old Machine. Good hard racing in the back of the pack. All trying to advance forward. Want to be in the top 4. Hunter Longnecker in that 93. It is Morse, Brian Morse out on the point. Austin Kemp runs second. Taylor Cool in third. 1 junior of Joe Reitz out of Dunlap. Trying to march up. He's got a battle with a 93. Now Taylor Cool, she got way high into turn 3. Lost some ground on that second place competitor of Kemp. Reitz, he's working, digging, trying to move forward. The 93 of Hunter Longnecker. Green flag tipped high in the air, 2 to go. Brian Morris, Kemp in second. Taylor Cool in third. Now keep your eye on that battle for 4th and final redraw position. Longnecker, Reitz. And the 30 machine of Kinzer Ellis. Ellis trying to hold on to that 4th position. Checkers for Brian Morris. Kemp second. 3rd, Cool 4th. We'll go to the 30. Hanging on is Kinzer Ellis. But picking up the win, the Old Machine out of St. Charles. Give it up for Brian Morris. VIP contractor, IMCA modifies. 26J, Jay Sweat out of Hamilton, Missouri. The outside the 5 out of Norwalk, it's Todd Shute. Row number 2, be the 93, and Colton Nelson out of Osceola. Out of Dunlap is a 1AR of Alex Reitz. Last week's feature winner out of Milton, Florida, Owen Barnhill in the B24. Downtown Kyle Brown, 21K out of Madrid. And row number 4, Chase Baca and the 75 junior out of Mesa, Arizona. Cody Brill out of Bates City, Missouri in the 96. Drew Jansen, the 127 out of Pella. We're racing in your IMCA modified. Todd Shute firing off, getting out on top, showing the way. Now Jay Sweat and Reitz reach to the inside. You've got a battle for that 2nd spot. Reitz takes a gander to the inside, went to the outside. Out on the point, it is Todd Shute, like he's got shot out like a rocket. He's your race leader. In second, Jay Sweat. Now the 1 of Reitz all over the 26J. You've got a battle for that 2nd spot. Alex Reitz, Kyle Brown, and Owen Barnhill going to be in the top 5 tonight. Todd Shute, he is checked out. Out on the point, showing the way. It is Todd Zilla. Todd Shute. 3.38 seconds. Look at the battle for second. Reach to the inside. Hamilton to the outside. You've got a battle for second. White flag, 1 to go. 21K. Downtown Kyle Brown, the 127 of Drew Jansen. Checkers for Todd Shute. Second, Witt. Third, Reach. Fourth, Brown. And fifth will go to Jansen. So Jansen taking the fifth spot. Fourth going to Brown. Third going to Reitz. Second going to Witt. And picking up the win out of Norwalk. Give it up for Todd Shute. Heat race number 2 in your VIP contractors. On the pole be the 95N of Garrett Nelson out of Osceola. 99B of Martin Bennett out of Ankeny. Run number 2 will be the 14B of Scott Bash, Windsor Heights. The 11 of Isaac Malakote out of Boone. Run number 3, 28, Trevor Fitz out of Carmelo, California. And the 17 of Corey Sauerman out of Johnston. And run number 4, Dakota Sproul out of Hayes, Kansas in the 08. Cody Laney, Torrance, California in the 5L. Here we go. Firing off. It is your modified heat race number 2. Bennett, Malakote up to down to try to battle for that race lead. Martin Bennett, the veteran. Bennett going to lead lap number 1. Martin Bennett getting out on top. Isaac Malakote. Nelson runs third. Cody Laney. Laney takes a gander down to the inside of Sauerman. Cody Laney in the I box. Springs car number 5 up to take over that third spot. Out on the point. It is the 11 of Isaac Malakote. Malakote, your race leader. Cody Laney giving the runner-up spot, running second. In third. 17 and the 99D, Martin Bennett. Bennett chasing up the racetrack. Corey Sauerman up to take over that third position. In fourth, Dakota Sproul. East Kansas driver up to crack the top 4. Running fifth, Trevor Fitz in that blue and white 28. Isaac Malakote gonna get the white linen, 1 to go for Malakote. Cody Laney second, Corey Sauerman third, Dakota Sproul in fourth, Trevor Fitz in fifth. Checkers for Isaac Malakote. Laney second, Sauerman third, fourth, Sproul, and fifth will go to Fitz. But picking up the win, he comes to us out of Boone, Iowa, giving up the car number 11, Isaac Malakote. And shifting gears, moving into your IMCA Hobby Stocks, brought to you by Rick's Towing and Transport. 3 qualifying heat races. On the pole, 84B, it's the Bad Moon Horizon, the Moon Man, Rusty Bates out of Casey. 78B, the Burglar from Adele, it's Andrew Berg. Alex Younger in the 81A out of Pleasant Hill, Colby Saban in the 9 from Des Moines. Row number 3 will be the 22, Seth Butler out of Glidden. 88H of Cale Hemsley out of Sigourney. Row number 4, Keith Berg out of Adele in the 14B. Blake Lunenberg out of Reading, Minnesota in the 16X. Joe Dorn out of Patton in the 21X. Want to be in the top 4. Out on the point, it's the Burglar. 78B of Andrew Berg. He come up just a little bit shy. Gonna try to better it here tonight. Out on the point, the Burglar, Andrew Berg. Colby Saban up into second, the Moon Man Rusty Bates runs third. Joe Dorn, whole handful of steering wheel, straightening it out, getting it going. Him and Seth Butler. Out on the point, showing the way. It is Andrew Berg. Rusty Bates working the bottom. Colby saving the highline. And it's Rusty Bates up to take over second. Saving third. Here comes Kel Hemsley, the 88H, up to try to take over that fourth position. Andrew Berg clicking them off in the 78B. Saving with a slider. Rusty Bates crossover move. Good battle for second. Races on for that fourth, fifth, and sixth spot. 16X of Blake Lunenburg. Lunenburg wanting to crack the top four out of Reading, Minnesota. Wants a redraw position. White flag, one to go for the Burglar. Andrew Berg. Berg showing the way, saving second. Bates third, Lunenburg in fourth. Hemsley in fifth. Checkers for Andrew Berg. Second, saving. Third, Bates, and fourth. We'll go to Lunenburg. The top four for the redraw. Give it up for the 78B out of Adele. The Burglar, Andrew Berg. Rick's Towing and Transport. IMCA Hobby Stock Heat 2 on the pole out of Minneapolis, Kansas. Will be the 77 of Cody Williams. Joe Beeler out of Norfolk, Nebraska in the 25. Row number 2 will be the 11B of Solomon Bennett out of Minburn. The 82 of Logan Clay out of Chowchilla, California in the 82. Row number 3, 3Z Zach Hemmingson out of Marty. 24R Dylan Richards out of Beatrice, Nebraska, last week's winner. Inside row number 4, the 4W, it's the mayor, John Watson. 22H Eric Hensley out of Mount Air in the 22H. And shotgun on the field, the 96 hometown guy from Stuart, it's Skylar Pruitt. Crowd goes wild for the hometown guy. Top four, where you want to be. Got to do it in 8 laps. The distance, 3 qualifying heats. If you don't make it into the transfer, you'll be headed to B qualifier. And the hatchback, 77. Out of Minneapolis, Kansas, Cody Williams joining us tonight here at the Carl Chevrolet Stuart International Speedway. And Hobby Stock Heat 2, it's great. Joe Beeler out of Norfolk, Nebraska. Up to battle. You've got a battle. Here comes the colorful 11B of Solomon Bennett. Got the new fancy wrap on the 11B. Out on the point, it is the 22. 25 of Joe Beeler. Joe Beeler showing the way out of Norfolk, Nebraska. Solomon Bennett up into second. Here comes Dylan Richards on the hunt to the front, along with the mayor, John Watson. Up to battle, Hemmingson. Stellar field of hobby stockers tonight. Baylor showing the way. Bennett runs second. Williams in third. Dylan Richards in fourth. Fifth, Hemmingson. Sixth, Watson. Seventh, Pruitt. Out on the point, 25. Baylor. Clicking them off. 5 down, 3 to go. Baylor, your race leader, second. Bennett, third. Williams fourth. Dylan Richards. Hemmingson fifth. Watson sixth. Seventh. Pruitt. White Linen going to come out this time by for Norfolk, Nebraska driver. Baylor showing the way. Joe Baylor, your race leader. Solomon Bennett, Cody Williams, and Dylan Richards. Checkers gonna fly for Baylor. Second, Bennett third, Williams, and fourth, Richards. Those will be your redraws. Picking up the win out of Norfolk, Nebraska. Give it up for Joe Baylor in the 25.